Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 161 for December 10th, 2025. I am Nemesis and I'm joined by Alcatraz.
Hello.
So, the big thing in, I guess, anime news this week was, or this last few weeks was, Amazon tried to sneak in AI dubbing for some anime.
Yeah.
Tried to sneak it through and people complained and they quietly removed it too. At least as far as I could tell, quietly removed the English. Some people were saying the Spanish dub was still very much AI. In there, which is weird. They did it on Banana Fish, which is at this point a 7-year-old anime, and a couple other ones, including No Life, No Game, No Life, and a Vinland Saga. Weirdly enough,
Yeah.
they put up those AI dubs. They're terrible, not surprisingly.
Not surprisingly.
And then after a few days, they quietly removed them because, well, yeah, the outcry was bad. And also, it turns out they didn't get permission from the people who own the anime to do those dubs.
Oops. There's a lot of this AI doing things without permission.
Yeah, weird.
Hmm.
Yeah, because the owners of the those anime, what was it, Kadokawa and Sentai both said, yeah, we didn't give them permission. We didn't even know they were doing it.
Just remember, kids, copyright law only applies if you aren't a rich business.
Right. Yeah, and of course the timing was awkward considering what we had just decided to watch and where it's exclusively hosted.
Yep, it's an exclusive Amazon thing, which sucks.
Yeah.
But here we are.
And then, yeah, just keeping up with some of the other things, Cinderella Grey.
How's that one going?
Pretty darn good. It is hype.
I may have to.
You're going to.
Yeah, you're going to force me one way or another.
You will be. It's on the schedule.
You will be.
It's on the schedule. You will be watching it.
All right, I'll watch it when we watch it then. I'll make sure it's still
though,
fresh.
because they are doing the thing of, it's on YouTube and they're quietly cycling, the episodes disappearing after a couple of weeks thing.
Have to make sure to. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, of course, This Monster Wants to Eat Me. I've still been watching that as well, and it's getting to some more intense stuff.
Oh, as if it wasn't already kind of there. That's.
But regardless, we're not talking about that stuff right now. We're talking about a return of an old beloved anime, the new Panty Stalking with Garterbelt.
Yeah.
Yep. Again, like we said, it's Amazon Prime exclusive.
Unfortunately.
In the U.S. at least.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you want to watch it legally, you have to watch it, at least as far as I know. I'm not sure if there's a Blu-ray release or anything yet, but yeah. That's pretty much the only way to do it via streaming legally in the U.S. is Amazon, the ones who just did AI dubbing. Yay. Anyway, so, yes, this is the return of Panty Stalking with Garterbelt.
With Garterbelt.
Yes. It came out, we talked about a little couple years ago, I think a year or two ago now, but yeah, the original season came out in 2010, I think it was. Yes.
What do you mean? It's only been 5 minutes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, the first season came out in 2010, and of course if you watched it, you knew it ended with a big cliffhanger, and then a promise of season 2, and then nothing.
Nothing.
And nothing, and then still nothing. And yeah, because it was owned by Gainax, who would turn into, we're just going to take money from royalties, and that's about it. We're not going to actually make anything anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to take money from royalties and licensing and all that stuff. And eventually Gainax, kind of collapsed, and all the properties got sold off, and most of them wound up in the hands of all the people who made them, including Panty Stalking, winding up with Studio Trigger.
Yay.
Pretty much a lot of the people who worked on the original were able to come back and work on the new one. And yeah, so just to sum it up real quick before we get into the nitty gritty, if you liked the first season, you'll almost certainly like the second season here.
Yep, that's a pretty safe summation.
There's definitely differences.
Yes.
Of varying kinds, but I think generally it keeps the same vibe and energy that the first season did.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Although there is definitely some, we'll get into that, yeah, but there's definitely some changes.
Yeah. Some of it just due to time, some of it just due to where it's being hosted.
Yeah. So, again, about, if to refresher, Panty Stalking are the titular sisters. They're angels. Panty Stalking Anarchy. You're kicked out of heaven, have to collect coins to get back into heaven by defeating ghosts.
buying their way back into heaven.
Yeah, buying their way back in, essentially. Thing ago, the first season ended with the whole reveal that Stalking was secretly a demon. Except, no, she wasn't. She was being mind controlled by the Corset, the main villain from the first season. And so she was convinced she was a demon, and then she went on a rampage, including turning into a giant monster, which then they had to reassemble Panty because she was cut up by Stalking.
Yep.
And then they missed a piece, a very important piece apparently, because she was just sitting there going, being
her
all
soul.
Angelic.
Yes.
Actually angelic.
Oh, no.
And then she turned into a giant woman, and then eventually reinserted the piece. And then the two sisters wound up fighting, and then turns out being just turned into a normal sibling fight.
Yeah.
Also, now the demons were fighting or helping now, and now they're kind of got kicked out of hell. And now they're living with Panty and Stalking, scanty knee socks.
Yeah.
Now they're living with this. Yeah. Adjustments for everybody.
Yep. It's hilarious how we ended on this huge cliffhanger, this big reveal, and then they're just like, nah.
Yeah, they
nah.
They pretty much resolved that in one episode.
Yep, resolved.
It fully resolved, and it's just okay. They're back to normal. And then eventually, after all that fight, they were like, hey, yeah, you want to? It's like they just kind of go back to like just being civil with each other.
Yep.
Because that's kind of what siblings do.
Yeah.
See, basically the thing though is a lot of this stuff is just various misadventures. Essentially, there's really not a lot of There's a continuity, sure, but like this again, it's just like the original. There's kind of just each episode is largely, for the most part, is pretty much standalone.
Yep.
There really is only marginal connections at best, and just mostly because this character who appeared before is like appearing again. It's only not till the last like third it really starts becoming interconnected.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty much just weird parodies and adventures of these, they're doing Indiana Jones parody or very strange Fast and the Furious parody.
Very strange. That was just like, what?
Or like Stalking and Scanty having to team up to go to infiltrate a dojo. To go hunt down the ghosts.
that was an interesting one.
The other thing they did was also, hey, look, they got enough coins to heaven coins to get back into heaven, right? Well, thanks to inflation and whatnot, it's nowhere near enough anymore.
Yep.
So to be buried in a mountain of coins essentially to get to it. Yeah, a lot of weird stuff. That's the thing. It's just a lot of weirdness. A lot of jokes. It's like are really funny. The other thing I have to say is the whoever did the subtitles did a fantastic job. I know they're actually, I think they're credited, I believe, in somewhere, but I can't remember where I saw. But yeah, they whoever's doing the subtitles did a fantastic job of localizing, to say the least.
Yes, yeah, I will say the subtitling was on point.
It kept the vibe, while also making sure it kept the vibe and Americanized it.
Yeah. Pretty sure it's not AI.
Yeah.
Which, being Amazon, and after that, you really got to be careful now.
Yeah, but I remember they actually did have crediting. I remember seeing actual credits for the who subtitled, so there is actually, that's like, okay, yeah, that's proof. I'm noticing that's actually popping up more recently. It's like, they're actually giving, actually displaying the credits for who subtitled this now again. So I wonder why that is. It's almost like make sure. It's almost like after being accused multiple times, they don't want to be accused of being AI again, even if it's bad.
Even if it's bad, yeah. I'd rather bad but actual
Human
people on it.
Yeah. But yeah, the other thing is they introduced several new characters in this season. Namely, big ones are polyester and polyurethane.
Yep.
They turn out to be the twin cousins of Panty and Stalking.
Yep.
And they're younger and kind of very Gen Alpha-esque.
Yeah.
And also kind of seemingly in many ways, just better than Panty and Stalking at this stuff.
Yeah. But they have a lot of help.
Yeah.
With technology and whatnot.
And also financial help.
Yeah, they can just buy their way to success. Yeah. Just buy all the new stuff.
Yep. But latest and greatest. The other thing is weird. The weird one with those two is like they have the thing where like there's a constant thing where they were like they are very adamant about making sure they're only working while on the clock.
Yes.
Once their shift is over, they're done. It doesn't matter what they were doing. It doesn't matter what's going on. They're not going to do anymore. which is, good. Like, because that's a problem. That's a real problem in Japanese work culture, is just the expectation that just because your shift's over doesn't mean you're actually done working. You have to keep going because it's for the, because it's part of it. You're part of a team, right? You got to keep going. You got to do, don't you have pride in your work?
Right.
And they're like, no, it's like, it's 5 o'clock. I'm done, which is very unusual in Japan. And like, I've seen this before. Like, you're kind of seen as an outsider if you do that. If you're like, okay, it's 5 o'clock, I'm off. I'm not going to continue working. No, I'm not going to go drinking the broth. I'm going home.
Yep.
And that's seen as unusual, and even kind of like almost antisocial, or just kind of like, yeah. And like that's kind of that's almost a kind of a new idea in Japan. Like I only work when you say when I'm scheduled to work,
paid to work. Yeah,
I'm not, and it's weird because it's almost presented as a bit of a bad thing.
It is kind of presented like that, sort of.
But at the same time, it's like, in their particular line of work, well,
yeah,
it's kind of a different thing than an actual office job.
Yeah, because they're not doing an office job. There's a few of those, like, there's a thing happening, you can't just walk away from it.
It's not like in a hospital, you can't just, my shift is over.
You're like, you're in the middle of surgery. You don't just, it's 5 o'clock.
I'm done.
Just walk out of a surgery at 5 o'clock. That doesn't work.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Or, firefighter. You're
on call.
You're there at the building trying to put it out and go, shift's done. Turn the water off, walk away, let it burn. It doesn't, no.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, that's the big new addition. And it's like, that was the rumors that when they announced those, people were worried because, like, new characters who are basically just gender bent versions of Panty and Stalking. There's genuine worry there. And I would say they definitely pulled them off as characters because they were
slightly antagonists.
They are antagonists.
Yeah, you have the antagonists,
and they work very well. They're annoying, and that's kind of the point.
That is kind of the point.
They are antagonists, and they're annoying, and you don't like them, and yeah. Yeah, so there's a couple other things. There is another new character who shows up, and I'm gonna have to just kind of. Oh yeah, there's almost forgot the Brief's there. That's cool.
Brief. Yeah, Brief is around
he's
the whole
guy.
time.
He's still there. He's still in love with Panty. He's still a dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, they also introduced a new character who's a friend of Brief, who's like Nerd Girl initially. Then her name is Gunsmith Bitch.
Gunsmith Bitch. That's her name.
Yep, that is her name. You'll
never guess what her job is.
Yeah. By the way, yes, there is a lot of cursing, and yes, even the Japanese audio, you hear a lot of English cursing.
Yep,
a lot of English cursing.
Yeah, they do not hold back. They don't beat around the bush.
Yeah. So again, most of it is just short stories. There's really not a whole lot there to like sink into because it's very self-contained. Like, yes, there's a fun time where they had the basic weird time travel parody with like a Tom Cruise looking guy because Minority Report, and also Terminator, and like multiple just straight up time travel just media jokes.
Oh yeah.
Weird thing, like Stalking is trying to get this one very rare like dessert thing and having to cut down a bajillion demons and whatnot, or ghosts and whatnot just to get to it. Or the
Huggy of Doom.
Yeah.
Wants a unicorno Huggy.
Yeah, the weird, or like kind of making parody of a bajillion 80s movies, including ending with the Breakfast Club fist pump.
Yeah, thing. Yeah, that was
like,
great.
Literally, they come back, it's like, oh yeah, this too. Or a very strange but fascinating, actually really good episode, Lord of the Kokon the Great. It's just kind of a weird Conan parody, essentially. Yeah. And they go as far as to like make up a whole language, and they don't subtitle it.
They don't. They don't need. Yeah,
you get the idea of what's happening, but it's like it's almost. I think I saw it once described as basically you found some weird video at some mom and pop store. You have no idea where it's from or who made it or anything, but it's just kind of cool, and you can figure out what's going on pretty easily, even without any sort of real audio context.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to understand what they're saying because it's one of those. The visuals let you know what they're talking about. You don't need to know the actual words, but the visuals combined with the tone that is used when they speak means you don't need to understand the words. You know what's being said.
It's because like you got this thing where like Panty's like basically this muscular barbarian who's and Stalking's like her like mount.
Yeah,
and like they're going to fight someone who killed their village, and it's the Scanty and knee socks and stuff like that. It's just very odd.
That ends up being a giant dragon, and
yeah,
it's odd but really cool. That was one of the really, really good episodes, I think.
Yeah, it's a standout for various reasons.
And
this isn't to say the rest of the episodes are bad or anything. It's just that one just really stands out because of what it is.
Yeah.
It's just them just kind of let's just do something really just out there.
There was a few that were just kind of interesting. The one with Brief and Chuck.
Yeah. It's pretty much Brief and Chuck with Panty and Stalking barely make an appearance.
Yeah. Brief falls into the hole, and then him and Chuck go through this whole thing, and yeah.
And then of course the finale, which was it turns out that polyester and polyurethane are pretty much working for the dad, who wants to basically become king of heaven, king of the gods or something.
Yeah.
And because Panty and Stocking's parents are the current rulers, although their popularity is in the toilet, and they brought back Panty and invited Panty and Stocking back to the heaven because they want them to more or less, as they put it, clean up their mess.
Yep, they want to abdicate, hand it over, and clean everything up and whatnot.
Yeah, but then he takes over. He tricks the king into taking over, and then he kind of does this whole thing where he's going to destroy hell, and
it's turns all the other gods into
a bullet, essentially.
Yeah, well, it
a giant statue
melts them
bullet.
all down, turns them into a giant statue, creates a huge slide. Apparently, it's an old project that was abandoned, and he picked it back up and made it.
Mm-hmm.
Drop it in a huge slide into hell, and that'll blow up hell, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so Panty's talking him to fight that, and then of course, then Brief having to help in a weird way. Same with Garterbelt and the demon sisters, and doing all this stuff just basically stop him.
Yep.
It's a very wild thing. It's a very Studio Trigger finale.
Very Studio Trigger. It
is wild and over the top, and just them flexing their animation muscle.
Yep. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. One of the things about this show I was not expecting really was, particularly in that final thing, which is kind of the theme of found family.
Yeah.
It's very unexpected because it's like their uncle, Panty and Stalking's uncle, there is freaking out because they're hanging out with demons, right? And that's bad.
Yeah,
but
it's
no, you don't get it. They're like family now.
Yeah,
we hated them initially, but honestly,
another one, the Christmas one,
where
Nisox has to be Santa Claus is another. It kind of ties into that whole feeling too.
Yeah,
that and the unusually heartwarming parts.
Yeah,
like the Nisox birthday one is the other one.
Yeah, that was also the '80s parodies. But it was just Nisox is freaking out because Scanty, for the first time ever, seems to have just forgotten her birthday or whatever. And Panty kind of steps up. In a way, although in a way that kind of, because of how it's presented, it's like Yuri. But even though, it's really interesting how that whole thing there, just showing that the bonds have actually been formed that they weren't really expecting to form, because initially, Nisox initially like, ew no, because you're Panty, I don't know,
you're not my sister.
But, and then it turns out it's just things happen because Scanty was got involved in something that literally captured her, that then attacked the high school they were dancing, that Panty and Nisox were dancing at.
Yep.
Yeah, and so that's what happened there, and it's like, oh, cool, and they got her new glasses and everything, and because they got broken, because the whole thing.
that whole thing.
Yeah, again, oddly heartwarming, and
oddly heartwarming.
Yeah, and that was the other thing, was them defeating, because it's like, it's so weird how like their uncle there was hellbent. He very much, like, you look at that, he very much represents like the conservative just mindset of this, things have to be just like this. If things aren't exactly the way my family is, or I think my family is, then it's bad and must be destroyed at all costs. And including this, so it's like this weird family of angels and demons and a priest.
Priest.
And weird dog things.
Yeah.
And some some redhead who's kind of a dork.
Yeah, the dork. Oh man, isn't that what Panty called him? That was in the first one when they go up
Geek
to heaven.
boy.
Oh, geek boy. Yeah, geek boy.
You're just a geek boy.
He's just a geek boy.
Yeah, he's
So
not allowed in. You're just a geek boy.
Ow. So he had to go die so he can go join.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
And then, the ending was... It ends with another cliffhanger.
Of course it does.
Because, of course, it's like, here's the thing. Studio Trigger can just turn out another one now. There is no having to wait for...
Yeah, there's no licensing weirdness. There's no...
They can
so yeah, they could.
I'm not sure how well this did, but they could absolutely do a third season, if they want to, or they could just it's a joke. You're just that's it.
Yeah,
Which should because that's the thing is after they save everything and stop. Turns out Scanty and Knee-Socks's dad wakes up, who's implied to be Satan.
Yep,
and
I mean it would make sense.
He grabs Panty and Brief for some reason, and then they're dragged to hell, and then we cut to. Sometime in the future, we're now Stalking is taking Garterbelt's job, and she's talking to two boys who one is clearly the kid of Panty and Brief, and we see pictures that clearly Panty and Brief are actually together now.
Yeah.
Which, okay. I think you do better, Panty, but sure.
Well, I mean, we see just before that happened, Brief finally admitted his feelings.
Yeah, but then there's some demon kid too who's like, who's that? Whose kid is that? I mean, obviously Knee-Socks are Scanty or possibly, considering the first season.
Yeah.
But I know, because one thing people notice is like, what was it? Scanty and Stalking were kind of close in that dojo episode. So, one of those, like, yeah. I wonder about that. But anyway, because it's basically weird demon kid and I guess Panty and Brief's kid, and it seems like they're now doing what Panty and Stalking were doing, and that's how it ends with that little cliffhanger. There's a little cliffhanger there because what's all that about? But there's that whole thing. The whole found family thing was kind of a big thing. What other thing that kind of surprised me was. There's a bit where because Panty just will not stop cursing, they put a little ring on her tongue which cuts her tongue every time she curses.
Oh yeah.
Except she and Bree find a loophole accidentally, which is if she sings it doesn't cut off her tongue. So she starts singing and whatnot, and then she becomes a kind of big sensation because there's a song. They have this song which is filled with just cursing, including bits where it's like literally the lyrics are nothing but cursing. Including one you really do not say in the U.S. Starts with a C.
It's the Aussies' favorite.
Yeah. And, it's weird because you listen to lyrics and stuff this is the most profane, uplifting song I have ever heard. Because it's basically about being true to yourself.
Yeah. It's great.
Being who you are, regardless. And that's what the song's about. And it's this, but you also just, okay. It's amazing what they're doing with some of this stuff. They just some of a lot of again, it's Studio Trigger, so you get all this wild, insane sequences of animation, but then coupled with some of the cheapest crap you've ever seen. But it's endearing cheap crap because it's Studio Trigger, and they do know how to time it in such a way that you go from amazing sequences, just insane fluid animation to this. It looks like someone just click and drag across the screen. And of course they even brought back the old, silly little figure explosions. They defeat the monster and you get this little cheaply made figure explodes in the most B movie way possible, and it's amazing. And that's the other thing though, as we talk about the changes from season one. Again, the big one being obviously polyurethane and polyester.
Obviously, that's one of the big ones.
But one that's kind of sneaks up on you is this is more mature than the first season in multiple ways. In one way, is obvious. In the first season, they implied nudity. Here, there is nudity.
They're just straight up. It's simplified, but it's just straight up nudity.
It's very very cartoony and stuff. Literally just a slit, for example. Or
there's no details to any of the nudity.
Not really a whole lot, but you do see nipples. You do see groins.
Yep.
And you see, but that's also more mature in the sense it feels like the people who made it kind of grew up a little bit. And so because of the characters grew up a bit, and so it has more mature takes on things, and I mean when I say mature, I mean actual maturity, not just poop
Not
jokes,
just
dick jokes, and
Yeah.
whatnot. Which it's still there, but
well,
like
yeah,
there
it's,
is
it's full of those. I mean,
it's full of sex jokes and weirdness, and just, but also there is a degree of maturity here. Again, those weird, unexpected, softer moments we saw, though, and just these actual like more this weird song that's just full of cursing, but just actually feels real heartfelt and uplifting.
Yeah.
But also then they're making changes like, Garterbelt no longer has Sambo lips.
Thank you.
They finally dropped that. What was the other thing? They dropped the whole the jokes about Catholic priests with Garterbelt, because like it's kind of hard to root for a guy who's you're clearly joking as a pedophile.
Yeah,
it's hard to root for him as a good guy if he's a pedophile, right?
Yeah,
and or what was the other thing I was thinking of? They seem to have trying to backed off on the whole unscanty knee sock implied incest thing. They really backed down on that.
Yeah, they did. There was a bit of that. There was a fair amount of that implication in the first season. That I didn't see any of that here.
Didn't really see that.
It was just very much just sisters at this point, just close sisters.
So yeah, just little things like that. It just feels like it still has that crassness without kind of just being just. Ugh.
Yeah, without being disgusting.
We had to talk about it. I remember we talked about it. It was like, some of the stuff has aged poorly from season 1, and that they've gotten rid of a lot of the really bad stuff from season 1 and kind of kept the good.
Yep. I do like what they did.
So yeah, on that front, it works really well, and it just winds up being like, it grew up with us essentially, because it came, when in 2010 we and I were in that college. We're right in that college age group, early 20s, of this is going to appeal to us, including our kind of last vestiges of our edginess from our teenage years.
Yeah, 2010, yeah.
And now it's like we're in our 30s now, and like, hey, it's still funny because they got rid of the weirder crap that was just, it's not funny anymore, because I grew up and realized, that's kind of mean, actually.
Yeah, that's not great, and they got rid of those things.
So, but kept. Yeah, it winds up being funny.
Yep, it's good.
And good,
it is quite good.
Like I said, if you watched it when you were, again, like in your teenage years or early 20s or whatever, when it first came out, you're going to be older now, and I think it's still going to appeal to you because, again, it grew up a bit, but still dick jokes.
Yeah, it's full of dick jokes. That's like half the season is dick jokes. The rest of the half is building up to said dick jokes.
Yep. So I don't know what else to say on it, because it's like, that's the thing about it. It's a great show.
It's great,
but because of its very siloed episodic nature.
Yeah,
you can't really, for the most part, you can't really get super in depth on this stuff, because a lot of it's like, even if there's like some lesson learned, it's sometimes like, whatever. The next episode it's not really that relevant anymore, is it?
Yeah. It's hard to really give any more details. Seriously, just go watch it if you
without
can.
Just going, that was funny. That was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, without basically just recapping the entire.
Recounting the whole thing. And
that's not what we try
to do. We try not to do that.
We kind of do sometimes.
Sometimes do, just because like we're desperate to find something to talk about. But
it's good, seriously.
Yeah, but I guess we'll go ahead and move on to our usual thing at the end. And of course,
things up.
Like we said, it's Studio Trigger. If you don't know, they've done things like Kill a Kill, Promare, Brand New Animal, Space Patrol Lilico, Inferno Cop.
We completely forgot to mention that. There's 2 entire episodes that's just Inferno Cop.
Well, it's kind of Inferno Cop. It's not Inferno Cop necessarily.
It's Impact Cop is what they call
Impact Cop.
Plus, it's just Inferno.
Plus the chief from Space Patrol Lilico.
Yes. It's literally it's Inferno Cop. It's the same sprite, same
Gridman. They did Gridman and Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and they've done a lot of things, which are mostly highly regarded.
Promare.
I said Promare, I guess.
Yeah. Trigger. Where would we be without you? You know what they should do?
Transformers.
They really want to. They did the trailer.
They did that little one trailer. PV. Yeah, they did the PV with Bump with Chicken.
I will say, like, I think they had a couple, they had Transformers references in here, but they didn't do like they did in the first season. That was like an entire episode
just dedicated to We Love Transformers.
Just Transformers. They just had references to it. There is a lot of their other works.
There's
too.
a lot of like mecha stuff, but
There's mecha stuff. There's a few Gurren Lagann references.
yeah,
I think in the first episode that was kind of a Gurren Lagann reference.
yeah,
When they're fighting with the big forms, they start breaking each other down. I think that was one too.
maybe. I mean, it's a lot of the same people who worked on Gurren Lagann worked on this too.
Yeah, Gurren Lagann was Gynax.
Because the nice thing is, Gurren Lagann is owned by Trigger now.
Yep.
So if they want, I'm not sure if they can do more.
I don't know if there's anything you can do with that.
We'd have to talk about it. We need to talk about it eventually. But I wanted
it's on the list.
It's on the list, but I want to do older mecha anime first before we get to that one. Problem is trying to figure out which ones to do because there's a lot, including the ones that are kind of blatantly inspired Gurren Lagann.
Yep. Yeah.
And just like, do I go back to the original, like Mazinger, right? Do we go back? That's like the 70s. Do we go back to that? Because that's like Genesis, right? That and like Mobile Suit Gundam. We did go Mobile Suit Gundam once. So I want to do Mazinger. I just got to double check like how many episodes it is. And also brace yourself. Some of this is super racist because it's Japan in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. Japan in the 70s.
Almost
it's not like we were any better then.
No, but it's one of those you just get thrown for a loop because, right, that was a thing. Because they're emulating cartoons from the 30s and 40s, which were super racist sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, as for the cast, this was I had to do a lot because there's a lot of characters.
There's a lot of important characters here.
Yeah, Panty is voiced by Arisa Ogasawara, who doesn't do a lot of main roles. But she was Meifa Puzi in Cowboy Bebop, Reiko Kanzaki in Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, and Haro and Selma Perry's in Kadoke Senshi Gundam 00. Stalking is placed by Maria Issei. Maria Issei, who's Urara Kasugano in Precure. Kaluya Zoldyck in Hunter x Hunter, the 2011 version. Eureka in Pocket Monsters X, Y, and Z. Reg in Made in Abyss. Kyojiro Rengoku in Demon Slayer. Himeno in Chainsaw Man. You know, the girl with the eye patch. And Fujimasa March in Uma Musume, Cinderella Grey.
There's a horse girl.
Yep.
There's a horse girl.
Garterbelt is played by Koji Ishii, who's done a lot of stuff, but mostly kind of, again, bit roles. But Joe Asakura in Gotcha Man. John Blade in Sin the Movie, which that doesn't sound funny. Because it's like one of those things that people forget exists. There was that game that came out in the late 90s, got an anime randomly out of nowhere.
Okay.
And Kimura in Azumanga Daioh. My waifu. That guy.
Yeah. My waifu.
Briefs is played by Hiroyuki Yoshino, who has a very familiar voice because if you've watched some other stuff. Oh, yeah. Firo Progenizzo in Bakano.
Why does he look like a Japanese Markiplier?
Don't worry about it. Gon Takada in Yataman. Hoka Inumura in Kill la Kill. You know, the computer guy.
Yeah.
Hisashi Yamada, President Mike in My Hero Academia. And Frankie in Spy Family. Yeah, if you listen to Frankie and President Mike, they're almost the same voice they're doing for Brief.
Yeah.
Scanty is played by Yuka Komatsu. Mostly smaller roles, including stuff in stuff like One Piece, Saint Seiya, Naruto, Yuri on Ice, and some others. But yeah, mostly smaller roles.
Small background roles.
Yeah, but she also played Caulifla in Dragon Ball Super. One of the first female Saiyans who actually is important. Dionan Nut in Appleseed's Alpha.
Appleseed.
Yeah, Setsuna Higashi in Precure. Nisox has played Akeno Watanabe, who's Rito Yuki in To Love Ru, and various minor roles in Pocket Monsters. Sherry Cromwell in Index, one of the minor characters there. And probably one of the biggest roles ever, Izuku Midoriya?
Who's that? I've never heard that one.
And Namuri Kayama, aka Midnight in My Hero Academia. Izuku.
Yeah.
Kind of
an important role.
Big.
Kind of important.
Yeah. Polyester is played by Juna Inoki, who's Takeru Takaishi in Digimon Adventures.
Digimon.
Omega Nova in Space Patrol Luluco.
Hey.
Yeah, basically the boy that the girl's Luluco's chasing after.
Right.
Panakota Fugo in JoJo. Yuji Itadori in Jujutsu Kaisen, like the main guy. And Yomugi Asanaka in Quadruplus Dynazenmon.
Oh, yeah.
polyurethane is Yuto Uemura, who's Atsushi Nakajima in Bungo Stray Dogs.
Bungo Stray Dogs.
Hero and Darling in the Franxx. The main guy. Tamaki Amajiki in My Hero Academia. That's the guy who can eat. He eats food and takes on the.
Right, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. He's always.
He likes he hates, octopus because it's really useful.
Also, he doesn't like talking to people because it's scary.
Yep. Relatable.
And he's also Thorfinn Karlsenfi in Vinland Saga.
Another, yeah.
And Gunsmith Bitch is played by Yoshino Aoyama, who played Yoshina Nanase in Wake Up Girls, Tsurumaru and Tsuyoshi in Uma Musume.
Another horse girl.
Meg Raspberry in Once Upon a Witch's Death, and I don't recognize this one. Hitori Goto in Bocchi the Rock.
That's a new one.
So quite. Yeah, some like her. She doesn't have a whole lot of voice acting credits yet, but yeah,
there's been some
Tori's
important ones.
Her like her first real big role. Like she wasn't her first main role, but it was the first one that really blew up.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the big the voice actor stuff. Kind of.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I figure we're going to do a whole lot of actual talking about the anime.
There's
itself.
not a huge amount to actually go through there. So
there is, but it's just mostly just that's funny. That was funny.
Dick joke.
Yeah.
It's funny after you think dick jokes would stop being funny after 13 episodes.
Dicks are just inherently funny.
But they keep making them funny. They keep finding new ways to make it funny.
That's the thing. Dicks are just inherently funny.
They are. That's like the old. It was what's his face? It was College Humor. What the heck is his name? I don't know. I just remember he had a video. It was like, it looks funny, but it was about circumcision. It's always going to look funny whether you're cut or not. They just look funny.
It's funny.
Dicks just look funny.
Yeah, this one's going to be marked explicit on.
Yeah, it's going to have to be. I mean, with the content, with what we're going over. Yeah.
Thing is, thankfully, pretty much no trigger warnings, really. Except for the studio.
Trigger warning. I get it.
Yeah, so it's just good, and if you like the first one, you should check it out. And if you haven't watched the first one, watch the first one. Kind of cringe a little bit of some of the definitely poorly aged parts, and then watch this one.
Yeah. Definitely.
So that's it for this. So if you like to listen to other episodes, you can listen to them on newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com. It's spelled Libsyn if you want to subscribe to the RSS feed there and whatever. Or you can, of course, subscribe to us on various other methods. There's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon Podcasts. And you can subscribe to us on any of those and search for New to Weeaboo or click buttons at the top of the Libsyn site. And if you want to contact us, you can do so via email, newtoweeaboo@gmail.com. If you have questions or comments or anime recommendations or whatnot. And of course, there are our social media. If you want to follow any of those, you can go to newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com/contact, and they'll all be listed there. And you can click on any of them and just follow whichever ones you choose to. So that's it for this first December episode. The next time will be, the last December episode, and thus the last episode of 2025. And we'll be talking about City, the animation.
Was Adam Conover?
No, that one. Okay.
Yay, City.
Yep. City animation, because been wanting to do that one for a bit.
But not.
Nichijou Part 2?
Not Part 2? Question mark?
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll be talking about that. Hopefully we can do something with that, because that one's another one of those, might be short.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm hoping it's going to be great. As far as I've heard,
it's amazing.
I've heard it's amazing, but it's probably going to be hard to talk about. But gosh darn it, we're going to try anyway.
And we'll see. We shall see how that works out. So we'll see you then. And of course, make sure it's winter and stuff, and also
stay warm, stay safe.
Yeah, get your Christmas shopping done or holiday shopping done or whatever.
It's too late to take out the Thanksgiving turkey. Put it back in for next year.
Yeah, put it back in. We screwed up again. We failure. Yeah. So we'll see you then.
See ya.
Goodbye.